Asante sana former Prime Minister kwa sababu ya mazungumzo yako. Wakati huu nataka muniletee huyo mzee Maumau mmoja ili tusitoke hapa, pia tunajisikia sauti hiyo ya Maumau, na kimaliza kuna mtu mmoja tu atatuwekea kawimbo alafu tuarike Prime Minister, waziri mkuu aendeshe program. Kwa hivyo huyu mzee anakuja hapa, alikuwa msituni na anaitwa Brigadier Kifoko. Karibishe kwa makofi.
Murahijibua mwadhani ya gosho dai dai dayo dayo tekino dwa muthenya uyu wa kinya tondu Ngai ni augite muthenya uyu ukorwo wiho. Ni njiguaga kĩeha mũno ndanoka mũciĩ ũyũ, ndanarara kuo. Nĩ mũkũigua Gĩkũyũ kanjĩrie Gĩthweri? Gĩkũyũ nĩ mwĩtĩkĩra ũguo? Ndanarara mũciĩ ũyũ na twanarie na mama na ananjĩra na nidanamwira yule mtu ambao anakaa karibu na ile mtu hapa anajua Kikuyu amweleze kwa Kikuyu. Sasa ndaongea kwa Kikuyu. Mutitorea muronorea nijikarete byake tatu itarede huba guo itareda sejia guo itarede thaba ndatigira mutumia wakwa enanda merieri kana kare aciarire ikura gathire uria mukwari horo wa wiyathi na ngaigua mukenda guthaka na horo wa wiyathi ni kindu kirito muno no horo wa Maumau ni muritu. Mama uyu ajiraga atiri na ni gucokera hau Kiboko uga areka moko ndu ayo
ni mazishi.
Reke tuthikurie uga Kiboko Kimathis athikurio i tigenda muthika ngethi kwa Ngai. Riu ni athie tondu ni athie ri ni amuthika makamu wa rais na rais ngumuhai hoya mutumia uyu agirirwo muthenya wa Friday ndari kamiti ndohetwo miaka 9 agitwaro njera iria atumia akegairwo ni Kimathi agituria atiriri mukwenda ngere Kimathi atia imu mwiri atiriri agone gwito aito nitukona ndira iguru kwa Ngai na tondu akinyito mari na ndumu wa ithungeru wa kuria Gicira athie nyararire ajiraga atiriri aru Kimathi amwona arugire na iguru akimura ndetekire nyina wa ciuri duĩke igongona rĩa bũrũri ũyũ twĩkaga ũndũ ka bũrũri ũyũ no ũrĩa ũkendia tĩri tondũ nĩguo atũma ngue age kũgũra arorĩo nĩguo nĩkĩona mũndũ endia mũgũnda angĩaga kũgũra
in Nyandarua County. This is Kinangop. The area is Jambine currently. Is one of the Mau Mau leaders who is concerning fight.
Karĩkia kũrĩra rĩ thaa mũgwanja tũkiuga nĩ gakira agĩitwo tondũ nĩ ndahonokire harĩ nĩ gũitwo
his clothes without showering.
Ũrĩa itagwo hĩndĩ ĩyo rũcinĩ nĩ arehirwo nĩ athũngwana mena mĩcinga nĩ twahũrĩte nguo tũkaiga nguo thĩgĩngĩ-inĩ twagĩtigwo njaga mũthũngũ ũrĩa amũrehete gĩthũngũ kĩarĩho gĩtagwo komokomo kĩaumĩte kũrĩa Nyĩrĩ Kĩng'ong'o gĩgĩtwĩra atĩrĩrĩ ile mtu ambao unajua pale park ni Mau Mau Dedan Kimathi toka haraka tukirigwa raugatia agicokera rĩngĩ.
Telling you this is the burial ceremony of the late elders Mukami Dedan Kimathi, the wife to Dedan Kimathi, currently taking place or rather underway in Kinangop. This is Nyandarua County. Speeches from different leaders have actually happened, and as we speak right now, the one who is currently speaking is one of the Mau Mau leaders or rather fighters, just narrating what used to happen, and he has just talked of how he stayed in the forest for close to 6 years without bathing, without showering, without changing clothes, all in efforts to ensure that the country got its freedom. This burial has been attended by the President William Ruto, as well as the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and also was Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who has actually finished his speech some few minutes ago, just had his speech some few minutes ago. And as we speak, he has actually talked of several things, narrated how he used to associate with the late Mukami, how he actually helped one of the grandson to travel to India to study, and also talked about how they actually bought a house for the late Mukami in Athi River, where she was living. Odinga narrating how the Mau Mau fighters, how the government between the Grand Coalition government between the late Mwai Kibaki and himself tried to sort out the issue to do with the Mau Mau fighters. He actually narrated how they tried to build, or rather they built a monument at Uhuru Park with the names of the freedom fighters, Mau Mau leaders or Mau Mau fighters being part of those names that were encrypted in the monument at Uhuru Park. The former Prime Minister also narrating how they used to visit various areas, including in Nyeri County. And in the process, he has also talked about issues to do with the current leadership. Of course, the speakers who had given their speech earlier on, including the leaders from the Nyandarua County, the area members, member of parliament and member of parliaments from other constituencies, calling on Azimio leader Raila Odinga to call off, or rather not to go back to demonstrations and allow the government to act. But in response, Odinga has talked about him working with the President William Ruto and said that he knows him better and he will continue telling him if issues are not going as expected. And of course, he has talked about the cost of living and told the president to ensure that he has looked into that matter of the cost of living, especially matters to do with the tax, the increase in or rather introduction of some taxes. Remember the finance bill that is currently before the National Assembly has some proposals and tax measures that the government has actually introduced. And the former Prime Minister and Azimio leader Raila Odinga, of course, calling on President William Ruto to look into that matter and not to have new taxes, or rather to have the introduction of new taxes, as the cost of living is still high and Kenyans can barely be able to deal with the cost of living and barely have a meal. Well, we're going to listen to what the Mau Mau leader is currently saying.
Thank you sana. Asante sana gavana wa kwetu Nyandarua kwa kupatia basi hii niongee hiyo, maana nasumbua kichwa yangu zaidi. Na ndigucokeria gavana wa Nyandarua ngatho uria urarikuo mbere. Ndamwirire kwina andu mena rithathi mwiri itari ciarutwo.
Well, one of the Mau Mau leaders are still giving his speech, telling the residents of Nyandarua County, specifically this being Kinangop, in Kinangop Jabine, just next to the Sasumua Dam, where the late LLC Mukami Kimathis will be laid to rest. It's just narrating and also speaking, or rather calling on the current Nyandarua government to work on few issues here and there. And of course, calling on the area governor, Badilisha, to see how they can help out in helping the Mau Mau as well as other freedom fighters. And as I was giving you just a bit of what, a sneak preview of Odinga's speech. And of course, we are looking forward to what the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi will talk about, as well as the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and also what President William Ruto will put as part of his speech. Of course, having been called upon by the Azimio leader, the opposition leader, to check into, or rather to look into the cost of living. We expect the president, of course, to maybe highlight what the government is seeking to do. And this Nyandarua County being one of the counties that is well known with matters to do with farming, the area leaders have really called on the president to help them to ensure that they have actually enhanced farming in the best way possible, so that they are, and also have good roads in this area, so that their production, their food commodities can be taken to markets in the best way possible with good roads. And several of the roads that have been mentioned, of course, lead to this area, to Jambine, where we're going to be crossing over to just listen to what is going on.
Bila kubadilisha guo, bila kuoga, mpaka nafikiri hiyo ni mzuri, na kwa niaba ya haya, asante Brigadier.